At this place in history, we're in Milton with Steve Perkins, the executive director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, I think people can probably figure out that this is why we're here this week, but it is not a church, at least not anymore.
I know, Mike, we are here at the Milton Historical Society, and it's a very interesting building, a great piece of adaptive reuse, and some beautiful museum work. So we're going to be joined by Jim Ballard, who's a member of the Historical Society, who's going to tell us about the history of this building. And then Rick Stoles, the president of the Historical Society, is going to join us inside.
It was an Episcopal church. The cornerstone was laid in 1891, May 13th. Inside the cornerstone, they placed in a copper box 27 items. And some of those items were a prayer book, hymn book, the Free Press, and St. Albans Messenger that told about the event. They're still there. And it was consecrated in 1891, that same year, December. It closed around 1993-94, somewhere in there. They had found that some structural work needed to be done, and it was going to be too much. I remember coming here when we did not have a bathroom. They put in the bathroom, of course. We did put in the underground, you know, for education and for meals and so forth.
Unfortunately, we had to close the museum due to COVID, and one of our board members, Gary Furlong, at a meeting, came up with the idea of, hey, let's take advantage of this downtime and do something with the museum. Let's reimagine it. We took a survey, online survey of the public to see what their interests were. And we came up with roughly, 20 topics that people were looking at. So we took about the top 7 and we started to formulate a plan on, okay, how can we showcase these exhibits? Arrowhead Mountain, the flood of 27, farming, the history of racing.
In addition to removing some of the items in previous use as a church, the pulpit, the pews, and plenty of other items, you've had to do some construction and in putting in some new walls and partitions in order to best present these things.
Right, exactly. What we wanted to do was create the exhibits within their own section. We wanted people to come in, and as they would come to the exhibits, we wanted it to make a learning experience.
You can read the space in many different ways. You can just look at the pictures, you can read the text. There's activities for children to do here. So, I congratulate the Historical Society on, kind of revisioning this. It's a beautiful building.
Yes.
And so can you tell our viewers how people can come and explore?
So currently the museum is open on Saturdays from 10 to 2.
Reimagining Milton's former Trinity Episcopal Church at this place in history.